Hey guys, this is Light, and it's been a bit over a week since the balance patch dropped, so I'm gonna go through the units and we're gonna talk about how good they are and how to build them. So yeah, let's get into it. So first on the list is Faithless Lidica. So along with her buff, she also has this speed EE, triggers a random dual attack, no condition, and this EE puts her at the same speed as Bryceria. So she is decently competitive, however she still can't really race stuff like Renak unless you extremely gear gap people. So for her buff, they gave her Laceration on her S2, it boosts your damage and it makes you injure, which is really nice. And her S3 also gives her stealth, and the stealth doesn't really matter. It does have ignore ER soul burn though, which is super nice. Laceration is actually a really cool debuff, because like when you injure something, like let's say you're fighting Biblas, when you injure her, um it makes her passive harder to proc, which is pretty cool. But yeah, and they also buffed Elgaia Candle, presumably to use with Flitica, so when she S2s, she has an extra chance to defense break you, as well as her S3. Oh yeah, this is also an extra turn now, instead of giving her 25 CR per target hit, and she no longer needs crit. And honestly, this is not a good thing. Because this is an extra turn, I think she gets hard countered way too easily now if you play her as an opener on 3. I actually don't think she's worth playing on 3 at all, because like she's too reliant on having to press her S2. So with that said, I think the best use for her is probably as a last pick opener option when you have something like Free Ren on your third pick. And then you can, CR push your team, you can potentially defense break and reset someone. So yeah, I think she is a decent last pick. She's very similar to Bryceria. She'll defense break the enemy team, push yours, except, she'll push more. And she gives you an injury option. She's not anti-revive though, which is a shame. I actually think she's pretty decent as a last pick aggro option. But yeah, because of this S2 change though, I wouldn't recommend playing her as an opener on 3 because I don't know. I think this is too weak to Bunny Dom. Like sure, you can just rip your S3 raw, but then like you don't get a defense break. They probably have immunity, so you don't get a reset either. So I don't think that's very worth it. So yeah, I think she has potential to be a great last pick when you're playing very aggressively with like Celine, Freerin, etc. But yeah, not a bad unit. Not a bad unit at all. And then we have oh yeah, you don't need crit chance anymore. Did she got changed to not need crit chance anymore? I just have a crit chance neck because this is my fastest gear. But yeah, you just need a lot of speed and effectives on her and you are good to go. Preferably you be on Candle so you can also defense break, but if you really want, you can also be on Guiding Light if you want to force her as an opener. Because she'll be weak to Zeo otherwise. But yeah, that's decent potential. Unfortunately, this doesn't start her in stealth, so she is weak to stuff like Zeo, unfortunately. But that's why we're not playing her as an opener. We're playing her as a late pick cleave unit like Ahmed, like Brigida, Pyriflan, etc. So yeah, decent unit, but not like the go-to cleave unit. Bryceria is still way better than her in that aspect, but good last pick option. And then next on the balance patch we have LQC. LQC got a huge glow up. I'll say she is the winner of the patch for sure. Basically they made her not need crit anymore, so this is guaranteed to crit. And if you soul burn, 100 hit chance. And also her EE gives you 30% AoE damage reduction. This is crit damage and white damage, but not fixed damage, so it's a free proof of valor. It's really nice. And for the build, I actually like a bit of speed on her because she has the CR push passive, right? Which means if you get AoE'd, you just fly in the bar. And if you have idols here, you have like a huge potential to cut people and like just kill them, which is really cool. So let's say their opener is 300 speed. It's gonna put your LQC at like 60 something CR, and then one AOE, and you are very close to taking a turn basically. So yeah, it's very threatening to have speed. Um, not requiring crit chance anymore gives you 100, like way over 100 gear score to work with. So yeah, that's really nice. I like having thorns because it's super flexible. Because if you don't soul burn, you are not an anti-evasion unit, and being able to kill RB, Setsuka, RNL on demand is very good. I know some people like going Tachi to make your splash damage better, so that you can potentially kill free run, but I prefer the flexibility of being able to kill, what's it called, of being able to kill evasion units, but also even if you go Tachi, even if you go like Pursuit Set or something, it's still very difficult to kill Freered, because if she's hiding behind like an Estelle or something, you will never kill her no matter how much attack you have. That's reality. So with that said, I really like the Thorns build, and honestly, like, she's pretty, her gear is already a thing. Like she basically just took all my Bologna gear, nothing crazy. If you for some reason have really good two set pieces, you could consider putting her on immunity pen +1. But I feel like the most value comes from destruction set, because it just gives you so many stats. Like, it's really nice. So yeah, and she also makes people really tanky too. Like, she's an insane bruiser, resistant to everything. Oh yeah, she's also immune to like it's done Sleep Fear. I think they added a few things to that. So yeah, she's really good as like a general bruiser. I've been first picking her like every single game, and she's just solid. Like, even if she's not a viable damage dealer, she's like huge mitigation too. But yeah, very nice unit, and yeah, definitely best unit in the balance patch. And let's see, we have what's his face, Dark Corvus. So Dark Corvus got changed such that he's immune to fear and sleep now. He can still be provoked though, and then they changed his S3 damage such that it does more damage without soul burning, so you don't need to be on thorns to do more damage. I actually like Sweet Miracle because I feel like I get provoked by Biblas a lot, and it's annoying. So I like to be Sweet Miracle, and then for the build, I think you want him slow with tons of HP, because he's a really good unit for like hard city games. Like, imagine your second pick, you pick like LQC plus ML Ilinav, who is actually decent again. And then on your 3-4 you go Harceti and Dark Corvus, and you have this monster that can like one tap everything randomly. So yeah, it's pretty menacing. And of course, like, if you're playing Harceti, you want him very slow with a lot of HP. Something crazy. Yeah, you definitely don't need speed. I don't think he has any place in like normal games with like outside of like Harceti, unless like you're forcing MOU haul, I guess. But yeah, I think this is fine. I think the change to his thingy makes it so he does not need a Thorn anymore. But if you want to secure the kill, Thorn is fine. You can also go Durandal. You can go any damage artifact if you want. But I like Sweet Miracle because it gives it's a chunk of HP, and it makes sure he's able to act on his turn. So yeah, he's a really strong unit. He was already a strong unit before his buff, and this just made him more reliable, which is great. No, yeah, very nice unit. Oh yeah, he also ignores damage share now, so he can actually kill people through Estelle. I think that's also very big. He doesn't care about escort anymore, because like before, the biggest counters to Dark Corvus were having an Estelle or stopping a soul burn, etc. But yeah, he doesn't care about any of that anymore, which is great. He's stronger when he's pickable, much more reliable, and great buff for him. But very strong RC unit. That's about it. Then we have, let's see, next on the list is Genua. So Genua has an extinction on his S3 now, and he also attack buffs himself before he does the S1 damage. So his S1 damage is super boosted, and his S3 extincts, but I don't think that's... I think this buff was needed in a previous meta. I think there's too many problematic debuffers for him right now, and he's historically weak to debuffers. Like, I feel like he would have been really good when everyone and their mom was playing Yuha Ruel, but I think this buff just came too late. Cause like people don't really play Yuha Ruel anymore. There's not much of a need for, you know, for like extinction. And his damage doesn't quite deal with the trendy tank units right now, because like, you know, LQC has a billion damage reduction, unless you have what's it called, unless you have some photogenic, you can't do anything to Estelle, you can't do anything to Arrowell. But I don't know, he's okay. And also, if you wanna force him, you need like a 320 MO poly, or else people are gonna race you with like like their Renex or something. Then like every game, so like you can't even play MO poly in peace with Genua because you get raced all the time, or you get hard studied. But I mean, it wasn't a bad buff by any means. I just think Genua is not needed in the meta right now, or he didn't get buffed in a way where, you know, he would be more viable, because like he needs to do way more damage, but also people aren't picking that many revivers anymore. So yeah, and also yeah, ML Poly is too slow to compete unless you're gear gapping people, but yeah, he's pretty whatever. And then we have Aki. So they changed Aki in a very interesting way. Well, not really. They just flat out made him do more damage, but also they reduced this, which means you can soul burn S3, soul burn S1, soul burn S1 again, and then your S3 will be available. However, you cannot soul burn it. So they gave him extra juice, which is insane because this unit was already really strong. Like when Aki is a strong pick, he just kills everything, and now he will kill everything guaranteed. I don't think it doesn't really change the way he's picked at all. Like he's just better when he's picked. They made him do more damage, they gave him an extra attack, like great. But it does not change when he's picked. I don't know. If it's they didn't even like like at least Dark Corvus, they gave him more functionality with like his ignore damage here, but Aki they just give him more damage and -1 cooldown, which is great. It was already really good. Honestly, whatever. And then we have Blooming Lidica. This unit's so they buffed her S3 damage by quite a bit. I think I was doing close to like 30,000 damage with this HP, which is respectable. And then they reduced the cooldown of this, and they reduced the cooldown of her S2, which is nice. But again, I don't think it makes her any more viable than she already is. Like she's a good restrict unit. She pushes back, and then you know she can spam stuns. I don't think giving her the extra damage really changes her as a unit, but I mean it's nice. It's nice, I guess. She'll be more reliable when you pick her. But that's about it. I don't think she's anything special. It's kind of like Aki and Genua. They were all sorry, Aki and Dark Corvus. They were already playable. They're just more playable now. Or they're like better when they are played, but that's about it. Nothing crazy. And then we have Shenil. Shenil actually got changed quite a bit. So instead of doing his ramping damage, he now does a lot of damage whenever he has Indomitable, and his passive will give him Indomitable. But also, if you have an Illinav, you can also give him Indomitable for free to make him do nuclear damage, which is pretty cool. I have been pleased by Illinav plus Shenil at least once. it's pretty cool, but I know people were expecting him to like be able to counter Biblas, but I don't think he actually does. Cause like Biblas can just hold, because her passive is so insanely broken that she gets value, right? Like she doesn't have to press S3, she can just exist for her passive, and she has a defense break on S1 too. So she doesn't necessarily have to press. But also, the issue with Shenil, the issue with a unit like Shenil is that if you want him to be effective, you have to put him in your band protect. And if you put a unit like this in your band protect who's not a damage dealer, who's not an opener, you're going to get cringed, right? Like every time I try to play Shenil, like someone just cleaves me with Luna or like little DN or something. Like they just debuff me to death and then I couldn't do anything. So yeah, it's a cool buff, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it actually changes anything. Like to be fair, Biblis was already falling off a bit because like Blue Ludwig was so strong. So I don't think he really changes anything in like the turn 2 versus turn 2 matchup. It's really whatever. But I guess he's more fun. Like if you surprise someone with like the Illinan plus Neo combo and they take like, you know, almost 20,000 AoE damage, is pretty funny to see, but that's about it. I think his buff was pretty whatever. I think if they wanted Shenil to like hard counter Biblis, they I feel like he should have been able to solo DPS or something. I don't know. I don't like the concept of Shenil. He was really lame when he countered DDR, and he's really lame when he counters Biblis too. It's really whatever. And lastly, we have Inferno Khawazu. I don't know. This unit's a little weird. Like he's supposed to he's supposed to, he has this new soul burn, right, that reduces his cooldown so he can S3 every single turn if he can soul burn, which is fantastic, but he doesn't really do that much damage. And also, they also made him not die. Like he has damage limit so he can be really squishy. I think what they were going for is that they wanted a unit that could just like, you know, get hit by free run, proc, cut, and then kill the free run or something, right? But like, you know, that doesn't really happen. Like they even give him free souls too, but like that doesn't really happen. I feel like there's a lot of ways to stop him. Like it's just 30 CR. Like I picked him in the free run, and I have never cut the free run, to be honest. I don't know. Like usually, like I picked him into like Ahmed free run. Like the Ahmed pushed her team, the free run kaboomed me, and then I didn't cut the next unit, and then I died. I don't know. This unit is not for me. I don't really see him being that useful. I've tried to pick him. Don't get me wrong, but he kind of is whatever. I'm sure he's better. I'm sure he's better for Guild War though. I guess. If that says anything. He has ignore ER. That's always good. But yeah, that's that's all the balance patch units. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.